balls, tits and balls, tits and balls, tits and balls, tits and balls, and
Pop culture masquerade.
Does mother know you wear it for grace?
All your pop culture needs. And here are your hosts, Aiden Munga and Brett Page.
welcome back to the PCMR podcast, where we talk about movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games. This week it's review week.
Yeah, review week.
Haven't had a review week in a while.
Yeah, that'll be a while.
No, we've been doing a lot of news, but this week is another edition in Brett and Aiden and Marvel Bitches. We're talking about Doctor Strange.
Bitch is like a light term.
As we said, my name is Aiden,
And my name is Brett.
and this is the PCMR podcast, where we talk about movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games. Things I already said that, but I wanted to say it again.
You
I
do a
want you-
Sam Batch's ASMR thing. You've been listening to too much Only Stupid Answers.
I have been. I hear that. I'm like, oh, we can just whisper through a podcast. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Just whisper through a
It really
podcast.
feels really weird in the listener's ears.
Mouth noises. Oh no, let's not do that. Let's
no,
not torture people
no.
with mouth noises.
My gain is too low.
Okay.
Boop, 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 boop. We're in the same room.
We are in the same
There'll
room.
be no weird lag.
No, we are about to do PAX this
We're
weekend.
going to do PAX.
Mm.
We're not going to. We're doing it.
That's how it's done. Yeah, so we will be spending the weekend in PAX. You will have a bunch of videos and a
Yeah,
podcast.
It's the official relaunch of our YouTube channel. Where
Mm.
we'll be, hopefully, keyword, uploading videos weekly.
We'll try.
Yeah,
We will try.
We will try. That's the best we can give you. That we're going to try.
But until then, you're going to get to listen to this nice little review. But before we kick into the review, why don't we have a little catch up? Brett, what's going on? What's new with you?
Yeah, I've been just running a lot of errands, doing some study,
Mm.
working. Got some public holiday rates the other day because here in Victoria
Nice.
we get a public holiday on Melbourne Cup Day.
Yeah, it was Melbourne Cup Day. How do you feel about Melbourne Cup Day, Brett? Because I used
You're
to.
baiting me.
I am baiting
You're
you.
baiting me.
Because I know there's some content in there. Tell me your thoughts about the Melbourne Cup, Brett.
You really want me to get this serious and political?
Nah, go for it, man. It's our podcast. No one listens. No one's gonna hear.
Okay, so for anyone who might be listening, who might be wondering what we're talking about, a lot of you might be actually thinking, "Oh, Brett's against the horse races. He whatever." Because that's a very political standpoint here. Quite I wouldn't say the opposite, but
Mhm.
I don't think that saying, "Oh, there's things wrong with the industry. Let's shut down the whole industry." I don't think that's the right mindset. And I also think people are misinformed. It's like the anti-vax movement. People get told things that are being paraded as facts, which aren't really facts. I feel like some people believe that every single ex-racehorse is killed. Definitely not the case. Yes, quite a few ex-racehorses are killed, and that is wrong. That's something that needs to change. But quite a few of them go to farms. They go to loving families. So yes, there needs to be a conversation about what we need to change, which is the euthanizing of too many horses. But it's not all bad, people, and there's also the fact that just every year at the Melbourne Cup, everyone who doesn't give a shit about the horses any other point in the year, suddenly they care. Like, where did this care come from? Ugh. Okay, rant over.
All right,
I could go on.
I just wanted to give all those people here like, oh, what do they think about Doctor Strange? Just any good, just to fuck with them and have a rant about horses to start off with. So they're like, when does this horse rant end? And I can get to hearing about Doctor Strange.
You baited me. I didn't want to talk about it, but you baited me.
I wanted to fuck with people. So Doctor Strange, it comes out tomorrow, well, the day we release this podcast for our. If we have any American listeners, it comes
Yeah.
out for them. It's been out for about a week now in
Yeah.
Australia and the UK, and
Little over by the time this comes
it's been doing pretty good. For those of you who somehow live under a rock, are like, what is this Doctor Strange about? Well, it follows Stephen Strange, a well-renowned surgeon and doctor who is, bit
of a
braggadocious,
Bit of a dick.
bit of a dick, but he's the best there is at what he does. And he's going pretty good. He's a great surgeon. Got very steady hands, but then gets in a car accident, loses.
He's speeding and it's raining,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks. He's speeding. It's raining. He looks at his phone, and
He had it coming.
He had. It's hard to feel sympathy for him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
It's hard to feel
it's
sympathy.
like you had it coming. You shouldn't have been a dick. But yeah, but
He got his comeuppance.
loses the use of his hands, spends all of his fortune trying to get them back until finally he hears about a place that might be able to help him. Kamartaj in Nepal. And this is where we are introduced into the world of the mystic, the ancient one, Mordo. All these other things. And that's where we get into the movie. This is an origin story. So if you don't know anything about Doctor Strange and you maybe haven't watched the last couple of Marvel movies, it's pretty easy to get into. There's not really anything in here that's saying like, hey, you need to watch all of these Marvel movies to understand what's going on.
There's Easter eggs.
There's Easter eggs for people who've watched all of this stuff, and we'll get into those a bit in spoilers. But there's, if you're looking for like a Marvel movie to maybe show your mum or your boyfriend or girlfriend isn't really into this kind of thing, this and Guardians of the Galaxy is a pretty good entry point, I feel, into like, here's this weird shit that I'm into. Come and see. So this film, if we're going to be talking about it, what's its merits, let's talk about the good things first, then we'll talk bad things, and then character moments, and then spoilers, I say.
Yep. Okay. Sounds like a good plan of attack.
Good things is, if you're one of those people who've been complaining that maybe these Marvel movies, they tend to look the same, they tend to...
Oh, yeah.
You see them and it's like, I feel like I've seen this before. Maybe this is the one that'll change your mind, because Doctor Strange has some of the craziest moments I have ever seen
in film.
Ever, pretty much.
And so craziest.
Like, you think, if you like saw the trailers and think you understand what's going to happen, you don't understand what's going to happen. This film is much more insane in its visuals than anything we've seen from the Marvel Cinematic Universe before. Like, they've really like gone and looked into the comics and said, hey, this stuff they were doing in the 60s with Jack Kirby, it was crazy. It was just crazy, kind of acid tripping, mind-bending kind of stuff. And they've really looked into that and said, hey, let's try and bring all of that spirit and that kind of crazy energy onto the big screen. And I feel like they definitely captured that. So the visuals for this film, definitely some of the best we've ever seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And like, when he first meets the Ancient One, there's this whole sequence
that we won't spoil too much.
We're not going to go too much into, but there's this really big
amazing.
sequence.
And if you have a chance to see this in IMAX 3D, I don't think either. Did you see it in 3D?
No.
I wish I'd seen it in 3D. Like this.
See, since the premiere, I haven't seen any 3D screenings listed for it in my cinemas.
That's not good. No. If you have a chance to see this in IMAX 3D, definitely go and see it in that. I feel like this is one of those that definitely lives up to this is worth the experience of like paying that extra money and going a little bit further to go and see it, because this is crazy visuals.
Oh yeah, it is. It'll fuck your shit up, fam.
Also, I think another good thing is that the story, while it's an origin story, I feel like it wasn't quite a generic origin story. There were moments here and there that definitely like made me go, oh, okay, this isn't exactly what I'd come to expect from an origin story. This is a little bit different. And they definitely like make you like second guess yourself in certain situations. And I feel like the third act, definitely, I'm not going to talk about in any kind of detail because it's definitely worth seeing, but it wasn't exactly what I expected. From what I'd seen in the trailers, I was thinking I was going to get one thing, but I didn't quite get that, and I got something that I felt satisfied while staying kind of in that character focused.
Well, that's just, I think in the end that's good trailer making, because we've talked about it before. So many trailers these days.
So many trailers, they spoil everything in the end. Even like the original Avengers trailer, they spoiled that moment where the Hulk catches Iron Man, and that really bummed me out. But
yeah,
no, this trailer, I feel like maybe some of the later trailers might have spoiled more. But if you've just seen the first and second one, you're fine. You're going to go into this film. There's still a lot you haven't seen.
I'm a first and second trailer man, because I know by the third trailer you can't really blame them if some of the plot points.
By that
spoiled.
point, they're trying to bring in people as like, I still don't get it. It was like, okay, let's explain it a bit more. This is what's happening. Also, for all those nerdy people who are like, just give me all of the information. I don't care about spoilers. Give it to me.
I used to be like that, but I'm a very first two trailer man now.
Yeah. I feel like it could evolve into like just one trailer or no trailers at all. But I love trailers too much.
Oh, you need trailer. You can't be no trailer.
I love the art of trailer making. Like, I feel like even if I was to go no trailers before a film. I feel like as soon as the film would be over, I'd go back and watch the trailers and go like, oh man, that's a good trailer. Oh.
Yeah. No,
Also, I wouldn't be
I
able
think
to.
there's always going to need to be trailers. Movies are
Mm.
always going to need trailers because you can't say, "Hey, this is a movie, go watch it."
That's
You have-
true. You
have
need
to
trailers.
see. And like sometimes there'll be a movie I'm on the fence about, and I'll see the trailer and it will either decide if no, I'm not going to see this, or yeah, I'm going to see this.
That's definitely true. What other positives did I have that I wanted to say about this film? Oh, I thought the acting was very good. I was a bit worried that Benedict Cumberbatch's accent would annoy me because I'm used to just hearing him with his Benedict
Yeah.
Cumberbatch British accent. But
It took a bit getting
it
used to.
took a bit, but once the film goes on, I'm like, I'm completely in with this.
Yeah, you
Like,
could definitely see it. You definitely you get
there
used
was
to
a
it.
turning point where I was like, okay, I'm in. This is the accent that he has. I've accepted that.
No, I think generally all around there was some pretty good acting.
No, it's a great cast. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch, Tilda Swinton, Benedict Wong, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Mads Mikkelsen. Who, hey, anytime Mads Mikkelsen is on screen, I'm excited.
Yeah,
That dude is a tour de force.
Rachel McAdams, she was just fine.
She was fine. She didn't have a large role, but I thought she was fine with what she got to do. She had a
Well,
few
see, her
scenes where
role-
she got to really.
Her role
kind of
didn't
act.
need to be bigger than it was.
Mm.
She played her part well.
Mm.
That she was. Could you really feel like the more we get into Doctor Strange, the more weird and wonderful he gets? It's really evident that she's really going to be what continues to ground him.
Yeah, she
And
is
what
an
kind of-
anchoring point in our kind of like
Yeah, kind of
Human-
keep his head on earth and
non-mystic kind of perspective. Mm.
she'll be the reminder of his past
Mm.
because she plays a big role in his life. She doesn't play a big role in the movie, but she
No.
plays a big role in his life.
And I feel like the film conveyed that enough that, like, even though she's not in the film a lot, I was like, okay,
her presence was. Her
I get what
presence
she's
was
here for.
felt the whole, not the whole time, but
Mm.
most of the time, her presence was felt.
and she wasn't a generic love interest. I thought which was also great.
Yeah,
Which
it
I
was-
feel like Marvel has been doing pretty good for the most part. With not, at least more recently, like they've had their kind of like generic things in the past, but more recently they've been getting
Woman.
yeah.
Oh, I have a bit of a cough.
Bit of a
Aiden.
bit of a cough there. You need to got that black swan lung. Yeah. But no, like in Guardians of the Galaxy, with between Star-Lord and Gamora, that wasn't. Yeah, there was a chance there that he's just gonna hook up with the green one, and that's all it's gonna be. It's like no,
No,
they're just work colleagues. They
yeah.
they save the world together. That's
Yeah,
it.
you can have a male and a female be on screen together, an attractive male and a female on screen together, and not have them fuck, basically.
And there is sexual tension, but that's more based on a previous relationship than one we actually see in the film.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's really good.
So yeah, visuals, amazing. Cast, all really good. Great cast. I thought Tilda Swinton,
She
kills
nailed it. She
as the
nailed
ancient
it.
one. I was a little worried. I didn't
I
know
think
what
we
to
all were.
expect.
We all were.
Because I'm in the comics. The ancient one is an
A
Asian
dude,
character,
old Asian guy.
But I feel like she brought this very kind of like, she got that it was a Marvel film. She got that kind of wit that needed to be having.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
she-
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, the
she-
wit that's needed in a Marvel film
See,
to like try and
you
keep
have-
up
you
with
have
all
to
the
have a
quips that are thrown at you.
You have to have a certain level of fun with it and seriousness. 'Cause that's what Marvel films are. It's getting that perfect balance of fun and wittiness and the serious action.
Yeah, but she brought this great kind of gravitas and eccentricity to the role, where she would have these moments where,
Big words.
yeah, and she also great action sequences I did not expect from Tilda Swinton.
Oh yeah, because she's like in her 50s.
She's up there, but hey, credit to her and the stunt team and the cinematography department.
Yeah, whoever her stunt double is, because everyone has stunt doubles.
There is some great action in this film, which, hey, magic and kung fu work really well together. Apparently,
Yeah.
Mm.
What they complement each other.
they complement each other really well.
Speaking of stunt doubles,
Mm.
you know, did you watch all of that live stream that Taika Waititi did from the set of Thor
I
Ragnarok?
did watch that. I
Did
watched
you-
there was like a 10-minute one that I
Yeah, it
posted
was like
on
the
our
15
page.
one that you posted on our page.
Yeah, I
Do
watched
you
that.
see when they got to? It really surprised me. They got to Chris Hemsworth's stunt double.
Mm.
He's like, he does my stunts
Mm.
and my kissing scenes. 'Cause I don't find that appropriate. I'm like,
It might have just been
Okay.
him fucking around.
He didn't seem like he was fucking around when he said it. Like, it kind of makes sense him not wanting to kiss other people because he has a wife and children.
Mm.
So you could, but at the same time, it's acting.
I think there was
He seemed serious. I don't know if he was joking or not, but he seemed serious.
I remember at the end of Thor: The Dark World, there's a scene where he kisses Natalie Portman, and it wasn't a stunt double for Chris Hemsworth, but Natalie Portman was subbed in with Chris Hemsworth's wife. Was like,
She's too hot to kiss.
she was a stand-in for Natalie Portman. So
Also, it actually,
Yeah.
they actually got in his wife.
yeah, his
to do
wife
the
was a
kiss.
stand-in for Natalie Portman to do the kissing scene there. Yeah.
Well, maybe it was true then. If that's a fact, maybe it is true that he doesn't like to kiss people other than his wife, so he gets his stunt double
Hey.
to do it.
You know, maybe, but I feel like also they were joking around a lot in that live stream, which
Yeah,
is
they were. It
why
was
I'm
funny.
kind of really looking forward to it because Taika Waititi is a really funny man.
Yeah.
So
And well,
I'm interested to see how that translates to a
had
Thor film.
I had a fanboy moment. My gain keeps getting bigger and bigger. Goddamn, sorry, people. Talking technical stuff.
Mm.
But at one point, he's introducing some people, some actors, like, and he goes, "Oh, here's this guy. He plays Meek," and I'm like, "It's Meek! Meek's in the film!" And I already knew that because they already said the Warbound was in the film. The second he said a character I knew, I was like, "Yeah!" Little fanboy moments, you know?
So this is what it's like to be on the other side of this. It's terrifying. I'm so sorry for everyone I've ever geeked out about stuff. It's horrifying. I see. Being on the other side, watching someone say just a random word at you, like, "It's a spider pig!" Wow! I was like, fucking calm down, you weird fuck. Like, okay.
You don't know who Meek is?
He's like a bug thing as part of the Warband party. I've seen his picture. I haven't read Planet Hulk before.
I'm getting out my wall.
No, look, no, you don't need to.
Yes, I do.
Oh my god. All right, Brett, this isn't a visual medium. Stop that right there.
For you, not for the audience.
Okay. Well, he's a bug thing. I get it. He's kind of like a black, kind of blue beetle looking weird fuck, all right? I'm good. You don't need... Give me this. Give me this. We'll look at that later. You're distracting from the podcast, Brett. Put the comic books away.
You took away my comic book. Never take away my comic book, Aiden.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, as I was saying, the visuals are good. Great cast. Great action sequences. Now, what was a not so good about the film?
Feel like you're trying to lead me to something.
It's a little slow in some parts. It's a
Yeah.
little slow in some parts, which,
I wanted to say that, but I didn't know if that's what you were directly leading me to.
yeah, in between the parts where there's these awesome magic sequences, it does drag a little bit. Now, I understand why they're there. They're important to kind of ground it into, like, this is, a real world, and they do kind of establish the strange character a bit. And I wasn't ever bored, but I was kind of sitting there a little antsy, like, hey, get me to the next action sequence. Come on, hurry up a little bit. So the film, it is a little slow in points, and for those people who are kind of used to that really quick pace, it may make you feel a bit bored, but,
Bear with it. Appreciate
Bear
the
with
good
it.
acting.
Mm.
Because, like, a lot of the character interactions were really good.
Mm.
Like, pretty much whenever Doctor Strange met anyone, they had, like, a really good, like, 1-2, you know?
And-
They bounced off each other. He bounced off everyone well.
And there were some moments, because this is an origin story and Ra being introduced to all this magic stuff, where it is a little exposition heavy, where they're just explaining a lot about the world, which is... It is interesting because we haven't seen magic really fully explored yet in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No.
And at some points, like there's a sequence between...
Annoying me. I
Alright,
closed my drawer. It was
alright, put
annoying me.
Don't look at the comic book, Brett. Yeah. There's a lot of moments between Tilda Swinton and Benedict Cumberbatch that do the exposition as dialogue really well, but there are other points between him and Mordo that don't work quite as well. I think Chiwetel Ejiofor gives a great performance in this film, and when he's not just having to do exposition, it's great. But there are a few exposition moments that are just kind of like, okay,
See, I feel like
show me, don't tell me.
at the
Yeah.
same time, there was some things that were explained too much. There were some things that were really glossed over.
There are a few things that are kind
Like,
of
I
glossed
remember,
over.
'cause I've seen it twice now.
Mm.
And the second time I seen it, where they explain how their magic works,
Mm.
like how they're drawing energy from other dimensions.
Mm.
totally missed that the first time. I'm like, oh, that's great how you just fucking glossed that over.
I got that the first time. You might have just burped or something. What? You are a disgusting human being, so you might have just missed it from being gross.
No, she mentioned.
I don't know why being so mean to you.
I'm just ignoring it. So she mentioned it once though. Oh yeah, our magic is drawing powers from other dimensions. That we use magic. Okay, and it's I don't know. I just felt like they could have.
That was the explanation I expected from them because that's kind of what they do in like the Thor universe, where like, oh, it's just magic is just science that you don't understand yet, and that's how they've explained it. Well, here it's like, we do spells, but if that makes you feel uncomfortable, we're programming energies from different dimensions, and they're like, oh, but it's magic, which is what we call it, so that's what we're doing. And he's just like, okay.
Yeah. And I love how it took him so... He had to keep asking, oh, what are we? What are we? I'm like, you're a sorcerer. Isn't it fucking obvious? You're a sorcerer.
I liked how there are a few moments where like Strange is very smart and he does pick up things very quickly, but I like that it didn't make him like a master.
Yeah, that's one thing I was definitely going to say, that how long it took him to learn it felt natural. Because in some things...
There was a moment that felt like a bit of a jump, but there was enough... It felt like a time had passed enough that I was like...
Yeah. Well, it really...
There was that first kind of initial like, oh, how is he so good at this now? I'm like, okay, I guess there was a time jump here. I would have liked the time jumps explained just a little bit more.
See, the thing is, even though there was that bit where he really jumped in power a lot, it really showed the push that he was given that helped him get steamrolling.
No, that good push was there, and I kind of get the like, there probably was a creative decision. It was like, should we do like a 6 months later thing? And like, nah, fuck it. People will get it that it's time has passed. Yeah. So I can understand that that's a creative decision. Yeah. But I personally, I kind of like the 6 months later kind of time jumps because it gives me a bit more of like, okay, so I guess that's how long it takes.
Yeah, this film, it started like, it probably started before Age of Ultron even, because it felt like it was there for a long time.
No. There was a specific mention that tied into Civil War that I will talk about in spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I missed that.
So it does take place after Civil War.
In regards to his training, here's one good comparison I have in my head. One common complaint for Star Wars: The Force Awakens is that Rey was too good at everything. That she picked up everything so fast that it made her unrelatable. That I agree with that a little bit. But
I like the character. I don't know. I feel like there's enough male characters that have done that for me that I'm just like, hey, let her have her fun. Get over it. Yeah,
that's not the only example. It happens in a lot of things, but this is one that's more fresh in people's minds, I guess. The complaint people had. So I feel like him learning, like taking a long time, and not just like Rey, can just pick up a lightsaber and automatically beat Kylo Ren. So yeah, I feel like it was realistic how long he took to learn it, and it made the character more grounded, more human, which is really, it's part of what you need to do. You need, as we said before, you need a good balance between him being human and him being Doctor Strange, the sorcerer.
So one of the other things I didn't quite like was that we don't get to spend a lot of time with Wong, played by Benedict Wong.
He was such fun. He was better than I expected.
He was good in the film. I didn't expect him to give a bad performance because if you haven't seen...
No. I didn't expect him to give a bad performance, but I didn't expect the character to have as much as it did.
I would have liked a bit more because he is a very important character in the comics, and especially in the last run that I read, like he definitely wasn't a manservant like people were kind of worried to be where he might have been in the earlier comics. But right now, what Wong is doing, it's very interesting, and it's very kind of this like partnership where like he is kind of in the service of the Sorcerer Supreme, but it's not like I'm in service to this wire man. It's I'm in service to this institution that I believe in, and that I have to help him.
And it's like, I'm in service, but I'm also fucking powerful.
Yeah, he's a sorcerer and a badass himself. They did more explore the kind of relationship between Mordo and Doctor Strange. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of Wong, but I expect that we'll see more of him as the films go on, because he's definitely a character that they're setting up to continue to appear.
Speaking of Mordo, his character development, really good.
Mm.
Because like in the comics, it's like the second you meet Mordo, even as the assistant, you're like, oh yeah, he's evil.
Yeah, he's the evil guy. Yeah,
It's- But this
you
Mordo,
know that pretty quickly.
yeah,
But this,
he had a really good progression from good guy to bad guy.
Mm.
And like just as you met him, like even though he was a real good guy, he had that level of unstableness that is like, it could only take this much for him to crack,
you felt the push made sense, and we won't explain what the push was because that. I guess
Yeah.
it's not really a spoiler that he's going to be a bad guy
Yeah,
because
everyone who knows Baron Mordo knows in the comics that he's like the one main nemesis to
he's
Doctor Strange.
pretty much Doctor Strange's Joker. But that push that happens, I felt like was very organic, and it made sense.
Yeah, and the development of the character, it was better than the comics. I'm gonna say it.
It's definitely better than the comics.
This
I
Mordo
like
is
him.
better than the comics.
I understand his reasoning way more here than I've ever.
Yeah, well, in the comics, it's kind of like I'm evil. I want to be the most powerful. That's all it is in the comics. He's evil. He wants to be the most powerful.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is like if you've seen Kung Fu Panda, the villain in that's Baron Mordo in the comics.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, what else do we want to talk about before we get into spoilers?
I feel like we've done things I dislike. There's not a lot to dislike it. It's just kind of the usual.
Yeah, just Well, I feel like every movie, a pacing of a movie is really up to interpretation. Some people might love that. Some people might not.
Not all of the jokes landed. Also, I feel like some of them definitely like, oh, these are great jokes, but others are like, okay. But then there would be
which ones didn't land to you?
I can't remember specific ones, but there were just a few here and there where like Doctor Strange just throwing out some quips that didn't to me was like, okay, that's not that funny. But in the scene, they weren't, I guess, supposed to be that funny, and I don't know.
Wong even made the joke that where Doctor Strange said, "Oh, people used to think I'm funny. Like, did they work for you?" Like that.
Okay, I missed that one. That one's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like that one.
I must have been laughing at something else, so that definitely had.
That was in the library scene.
Yeah, I like the library scene. I like the scenes between Wong and Doctor Strange. I would have liked more of that. Which he's going to be in Infinity War, so we're going to get more of Wong. Yeah. So I'm happy about that.
Oh, I'm not going to say what I was about to say. I'm not going to say what I was about to say.
Yeah, don't say what you're going to say. All right, let's get into who's your favorite character in the film.
My favorite character. I'm still going to say Baron Mordo because I loved his character development and his acting. Great. And
What Ejiofor is he's great. Even in bad films, he's never given like a bad performance.
Yeah, and his action sequences as well. He had some brilliant action sequences. He was just all round badass the whole time. Had some great character development, and so I really appreciated that. What about you? What's your favorite?
I think it was probably Tilda Swinton, like as the ancient one. I didn't expect to like her character as much as I did, but I really, really enjoyed the scenes with her, and I felt her kind of eccentricity and kind of murkiness was really kind of a fresh take on the character that you don't usually get to see. So yeah, I really enjoyed her.
Yeah. Do we want to say characters we disliked, or cause I don't really think there was anyone
I don't really
have
any characters I disliked.
Maybe one complaint I could make. I would have. Oh, what was the bad guy's name? Shit.
Caecilius?
Yeah, Caecilius. I would have liked to have seen him interacting with his followers more. Because the whole time his followers is kind of there, just following him. I would have liked to seen them interact, and him being like, because he's basically like a zealot. He's basically a religious figure to these people.
I would have liked to have seen more time spent with Caecilius. There is a scene where Mads Mikkelsen gets to act, and you do kind of understand what he wants, and he's like, okay, I can see how from your point of view, you're like, that would make sense.
See, but I really wanted to see him doing some like mad priest stuff with his followers.
That would have been nice, for him to have like a moment where his followers, where he was like going like, and it is written in the book of the dead or whatever.
You know exactly what I want. I really
that would have been
wanted
a nice
that.
scene to have.
Great.
That's definitely a scene that I feel like it may even be written. I feel like that's a scene they've probably written somewhere.
In that church scene where they did the ritual, I feel like when they did that ritual, I would have just loved to have him had a big speech and a big preach to his followers before.
Yeah, he had one villain speech to Doctor Strange, but he needed another one.
Because there's the villain speech you do to your opponent, and the villain speech you do to your
followers. Yeah,
that's what you need.
That's the villain speech he was missing. Yeah.
There you go. There's another.
But besides that, Mads Mikkelsen has a presence whenever he's on screen, so he wasn't bad. he wasn't as short-handed or shortchanged as Christopher Eccleston was in The
Oh,
Dark
yeah.
World. But yeah, there could have been a bit more with him.
Then again, I think we discussed this before that Christopher Eccleston in Dark World, he had enough like makeup and stuff on him that you could use him again and get away with it.
You could. You really could. Hey, bring him back as switch out Purple Man. Make a Christopher Eccleston. just have a bunch of the doctors play Purple Man. Fucking do it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be funny.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into ratings. This is one of the best visual Marvel films I've ever
Oh,
seen.
one of the best visual films I've ever seen. I'm gonna
It's
put it out
definitely like a good note to end on for like these superhero films. It's not like a big bombastic ending, but it's a great kind of like this is where these like this genre could be going. These are all
Yeah.
like the good things that are
Yeah, it's a good
we're
final
in store
superhero
for.
film for 2016.
And I'm glad we're ending on a Marvel film because
Yeah.
if we were ending on like a
Suicide
Suicide Squad or a BVS, would have been like I guess it's another superhero thing. Woo! But this is a good note to end on. It's like
Yeah.
okay, this is good. I'm still excited to see another superhero film. That's great. And that's like it may like I definitely felt like I wanted to see it again.
Which is the next one? Guardians of the Galaxy 2, isn't it?
That's in March. I want
Yeah,
to
it's
say.
that then Logan.
Yeah, it's that Logan. Oh fuck, I forget Logan is coming out. Right, yeah, so it's that Logan, and then we have Iron Fist in March as well, and then I think in June is Spider-Man. Yeah. And then November I think is Thor, because
But-
that's always had like
yeah.
a November release, or it might be August.
What about Justice League? When's that out?
That's probably like a May,
Yeah.
March kind of.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I think I'm looking forward to Thor Ragnarok the most because I
Oh, no,
feel
that
like
might-
it's gonna be
Actually,
another
that might be
big.
That might be November as well,
Yeah.
because I think Wonder Woman's coming out first.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking forward to Thor Ragnarok because it's really shaping up to. There's gonna be a
It's
lot of people
basically
in it.
like an Australian film, shot in Queensland.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got New Zealand director, a bunch of Australians are starring in it.
A bunch of Australians in the crew as well. If you watch that live stream he did.
That gave me like such good feels. Like, oh man, that's look at all those Australians and New Zealanders working together.
Yeah.
And then it's just one American voice, and you're like, that's weird. It stands out.
Yeah,
Good.
it stands out.
Should stand out.
But no, yeah, it looks like looks like the Hulk's gonna have a really big part in the film. And can I say it? Can I say who else I think might have a part in the film?
No, we'll go into. Actually, no, save that for like. No, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Just leave that. All right. Yeah. If I'd say it, the visuals are really good. It's a little slow in parts, but once you get to the good parts are real good. And if you get a chance to see this in IMAX 3D, definitely check it out. There, great cast. There were some worries going in that maybe that they would get a little squandered, but I think everyone pretty much gets a time to shine. I'd say.
Yeah. Everyone has the impact on the film that they need to have on the film. No one really overstays their welcome.
Oh, I didn't mention, one of the Zealots is played by Scott Adkins, who's like this. He's like a Claude Van Damme. He's in a lot of ninja movies.
Okay.
He's like in a lot of B grade kind of martial arts movies. He's the guy who gets in like the second half of the second act or start of the third act. He's doing all the out of body stuff.
Oh yeah, he's the one he astrally fights.
Yeah, that's a pretty good sequence.
That's a good
That's a good sequence. Yeah. So the Zealots they don't get any great dialogue, but there's some cool action stuff done with them.
Yeah.
So the action's really good. The visuals are amazing. There's some overuse of some spells that I would have liked to have seen a little bit more variety in the.
Yeah, Doctor Strange only did a couple of spells. I would have liked to have seen him become like a lot more proficient as he was.
Yeah, the spells were mainly more focused on kind of hand-to-hand combat and passageways and trying to shaping the world around them, and not so much. I would have liked to have seen some more like fireballs, or like taking like water and like throwing it at people, or transforming something into a thing. I want like the next film to, if they're gonna be doing magic, to like go even crazier.
Yeah. Well, there is some crazy stuff you can do. Like I've read in a comic, Doctor Strange, he does a spell to literally go inside the Hulk's mind to try and convince Bruce Banner to come out and the Hulk to fuck off.
If you want to see some like crazy visual stuff, the most recent Doctor Strange run, insane. I would definitely like to see some stuff like that done, but that's more like a down the line character. I feel like that
Yeah.
story arc would definitely make a really good third
Yeah.
Doctor Strange film, because it has a kind of like end of the universe kind of feel
Yeah.
to it.
Because it really feels like with these movies, what they're doing is they're giving each character 3 solos, then they appear in the main ones, you know, in other people's movies. Feels like that's what they're doing.
No, this is another solid entry in the MCU. This franchise isn't slowing down anytime soon. It's a good big old magic film to end end the year of comic book stuff.
So what rating are you going to give it?
I would give it a solid. I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10.
9
I really
out of
enjoyed it. Yeah,
Yeah, fuck. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 as well. Fuck it. Why not? Fuck it.
it was a good time. Like the more I thought about it, I want to see it again. You saw
Worth it. I've
you
already
saw
seen
it
it
second
twice.
time. It was real good. There's anything that I complain about is more nitpicky. There's nothing as like a comic book fan and going in expecting what I expected. I pretty much got what I wanted, so that's good for me. So let's get into some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film at this point, go see it. Come back and listen here. If you've already seen it, well, let's get into it.
Yes.
All right. The thing I was talking about, how it's definitely after Civil War, when he's driving his car and his intern is kind of talking to him, he's like, hey, here's some cases you can take. There's that one where he talks about, hey, there's this soldier in the military, 35 years old, had an accident, paralyzed in a mechanized kind of war suit. It's talking about War Machine. How? Yeah, see that's so it's definitely after Civil War because War Machine is paralyzed.
So it does start after Civil War.
It starts after Civil War. Yeah.
So
Something we didn't talk about, but how fucking cool is that little cabinet he has full of watches?
yeah.
I want that.
Oh fuck yeah! I want to be that rich.
I haven't
worn
worn a watch in so long, and I was just watching that, going like, "Fuck, yeah, pun intended." Watching them watches.
I want to be that rich. I want to be that rich.
I want that spinning watch thing because I was looking at it like, that's badass.
Yeah.
Fuck, goddamn.
Yeah.
I want that. I want that so much.
So he wouldn't have been in Kamatage more than a year then.
Yeah, probably like
Well,
9 months, maybe.
Yeah, well, because as I was gonna say, the post-credit scene, you can pretty much put your money on at this point that Doctor Strange is going to play a part in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, and that's
So it's
probably not a big part, but there's definitely going to be like a nice scene between them. Yeah.
You don't know. He could play a bigger part.
So I feel like the timeline-wise, they can pretty much go from Civil War to when Spider-Man comes out, probably like just a bit before that, or as that's going on.
So about a year.
Yeah, about a year, because
The movie takes part in about a year.
you don't really need to worry about timeline-wise with Guardians of the Galaxy, because I think that's happening 3 months after the last film happened.
Yeah, because they're kind of still doing their own thing.
They're in their own thing
until Infinity
off in the
Wars.
galaxy.
Until Infinity Wars, where the Infinity Stone that they have comes into play, they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about where they fit into timeline. They're their own thing. But yeah, with Doctor Strange, I feel like it kind of fits in later end, probably more towards when we get to see Spider-Man. I like that the film's kind of very closed off, and there is kind of mentions the Avengers and stuff where it's like, well, what the fuck do we do? It's like, well, okay, the Avengers, they deal with world-ending threats, kind of physical. We're dealing with magic shit. They don't know what's happening. We got to deal with it. Somebody's got to deal with all this crazy magic shit. I like that explanation, and I like how they can create these kind of mirror universes, which is it's not something so much in the comics, and that's kind of a thing they can put in there so that we can fuck with the entire city and not have to worry about consequences of that. Pretty much, yeah. So it's a neat little trick, and it leads to some great visuals.
Yeah.
So I'll allow them.
Yeah,
it's like, that's fine.
At the end of the day, it's a plot device that allows them to do what they want.
Also, like the sling rings, they're not from the comics. That's like something, hey, we want to give them like a physical thing so that like if you lose it, you can't get out of the mirror dimension. So
Again,
plot device, but it works for the film, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh, how about let's get into this. Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Most big fans like us knew that the Eye of Agamotto, the Infinity Stone, the Time Stone. But Wong full on said it at one point.
So that's
for anyone who didn't know.
So I feel like Wong is going to be one of those people doing some exposition stuff when Infinity War happens. Like he'll be laying down some knowledge. Him and Thor probably will be like talking to the Avengers and being like, these are what the Infinity Stones are. you've got one in your head, he's got one in his necklace. Thanos is coming for them. We're fucked.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 5 Infinity Stones in total. Which do we have now? Where are they all at right now? Do you remember?
Okay, so we've got the Soul Stone, which is in Vision's head.
Okay, so
Previously in Loki's scepter. We have the Tesseract, which is the Space Stone. That's currently in Asgard. We have the Eye of Agamotto, which is the Time Stone. That's currently in the not the Sanctum Sanctorum, that Kamatage.
Yeah.
Kamatage.
Well
We've got
protected.
the Power Stone, which is currently with the Collector and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
That's the purple one that can just blow up planets and power
Oh
a
yeah,
hammer.
that's the one
whatever.
that. Oh yeah, no, yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. And then we have the Ether, which is the one from Thor: The Dark World, which is the Reality Stone. Cause
No, wait, I thought the one in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Nova Corps, had it.
yes, they have it now.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's not the Collected. The Nova Corps have it.
He had
because
it originally.
He pretended to give it to Yondu, but he actually gave it to the Nova Corps to take care of.
That is correct. I
So
forgot
pretty much
where it
most
ended up
of
in
them
the
are
other
in
movie.
reasonably safe hands, except maybe the one in Asgard, because Loki's currently impersonating Odin.
I'm thinking at
Mhm.
the start of Infinity War, we're probably going to see an attack on
All of them.
Nova as like a starting off thing, where he's going to go and take the Power Stone and be like, all right,
Yeah, because that's where we've seen Thanos.
this is
now.
a good
He's
place to
around
start.
there.
If I can blow up planets, this will help me get the other ones.
Yeah. Well, he kind of know he'd know where that one is
Mm.
because he knows they were playing around with that.
Yeah. Something we haven't talked about yet because is kind of a spoiler. Who the like real kind of villain and why Caecilius is doing what he's doing? Dormammu.
Oh yeah, Dormammu.
Yeah.
I
So
guess that was a little bit of a spoiler, but a little bit wasn't because we did see him in a trailer.
did we? I didn't watch that trailer, so I
yeah,
didn't know that
apparently he
Dormammu
wasn't.
was going to be in this.
That's
Because
why we don't watch third trailers, people.
don't watch third trailers. No, but yeah, Dormammu is in this film, and he doesn't look
Fun-
anything like he is in the comics, but
Fun
he's
fact,
good.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Benedict Cumberbatch was Dormammu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was Dormammu.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I
that's
feel like yeah, I do remember seeing that because they were talking about how they wanted to portray this character, and it's like, well, if he's in this kind of different dimension where time doesn't exist, why would he need like a human body and to be able to like floating around in space as like a giant flaming skull monster thing? So he would only take on a form when he has to interact with someone. So when Doctor Strange comes in, it's like, I have to take on a form to interact with you. And so that's how he has this like
that's how he has a face.
Benedict Cumberbatch kind of thing going on.
Yeah, makes sense. It's
I did
small
really like
detail.
that ending where like, because usually we've had in these kind of big Marvel films right up until about Civil War, where it's like, and we're going to have this big ending where it's a big shootout in the sky and it's going to be all this crazy shit going on. But this was a very much kind of a thinking man's kind of way to solve a solution.
It wasn't a big fight. There wasn't a big fight where they eventually
No.
overcame. It was him being smart,
Mm.
him surveying his options and coming up with a plan. And really on the spot, you could tell the second he came up with that plan, and it wasn't a planning out for a long time. He came up with this plan in like 10 seconds.
It's probably just standing there like, okay, I got.
And it was a plan
got
that could
something.
very easily go wrong. This
Mm.
plan involved him getting killed
Multiple times. It worked. I like that. It was a bit.
creating a time paradox.
I would have liked a bit more of him. It would have probably messed with like the drama of the scene, but him going like, Dormammu, I've come to bargain, and then he gets killed. And like, come on, man, just talk to me. Kill. It's like, really? Can we? You know what's happening? Like, why are you? No. I
Well,
would
he
have liked
didn't know what
more-
happened because he didn't know what time was. He'd never had time in his dimension.
That's true. Like,
And
he was-
Doctor Strange was introducing time. He created a time loop, a place without time.
That's a crazy thing to experience. So yeah, but no, that was like a really. I felt that was a really like a smart solution. It wasn't exactly what I expected the end of the film to be, and I
No.
liked that it was more like we're gonna use our brain and we're not like because he's not the best sorcerer yet, so he's using his mind and like, okay, this is the things I've got on me. I've concocted like the one kind of spell I'm pretty good at. I'll use that to save the day, and it's more him like
Yeah.
using his mind to solve the problem instead of just like
Still, though, he's still
Magic.
he's still an amazing sorcerer because they said to
Mm.
him, "You shouldn't be able to use that. That is extremely advanced
Mm.
magic that you're using."
So yeah, I feel like they rode that balance very good, rode the balance very well of him both being like, okay, this is the guy who can become the Sorcerer
Mm.
Supreme, but at the same time
He's
he's
not
not the
yet.
Sorcerer Supreme. Yeah. So he's still got a long way to go, but at the same time they're like,
But I feel
You're
like
gonna be something.
I feel
It's
like next time we see him, though, I feel like next time we see him, they're
he's
gonna
gonna be a
like,
little
okay,
bit further
he's-
along. Yeah.
No, I feel like next time they're gonna be like, okay, he's all through Supreme now. He can do some crazy ass shit now.
Yeah, I think in Thor: The Dark World, he's pretty much being like, "Well, I am the human representative of magic, and you are. I am Thor Odin's son. Ha ha! I'm an alcoholic."
And I in that scene because I told you before you saw it. That's a fucking great mid-credit.
I didn't
scene.
know what to expect. It was just like, "What's it gonna be?" And then this, I was like, "Oh, this is great. This is."
And his Thor's face as
I
the
don't
beer
drink tea.
refills.
Oh shit! This is being refills. That's awesome. That was a great scene, and I'm pretty sure Taika Waititi directed that a little bit.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that was
Does that
good.
mean
What did you
Benedict
think of the
Cumber-
Stan Lee cameo?
Ah, it was great. It's
It was
always
pretty
great.
good. It was pretty good.
Because I feel like whenever you do a Stan Lee cameo, it's just everyone who's in the know is like, ah!
Also, I really liked when they were naming off like random magical objects because they were all things from the comics, and I didn't know all
Yeah.
of them. But there was one was like mentioned the Wand of Watum, and I'm like, oh, the Wand of Watum, that fucking thing. Hooray! It doesn't mean anything to like anyone, but it's like just mentioning here's some things from the comics: Wand of Watum, the boots of flying magic bullshit. And it's like, oh,
Boots of flying magic bullshit. I like that.
Yeah. What did you think of his cape? I like the
loved
cape.
it. I loved how they kind of gave it a personality.
It was
Like
a little
Aladdin's rug.
Yeah, that's what I was exactly
Yeah,
where I was
yeah.
going. Like it's a little Aladdin's rug as a cape, but yeah,
I like
that's
that.
good.
I like them going Aladdin's rug with it, like kind of anthropomorphizing this bit of fabric.
I also liked when they trapped Caecilius. It felt very Hannibal Lecter, the way he was all like, "Yeah, I'm trapped." So that's like a nice nod to Mads Mikkelsen playing Hannibal in the Hannibal TV series. So good, given the okay
Oh,
emoji
what is
there.
it? The best thing, the best part in the whole film. The first part where he gets a cloak of levitation, where he falls down the stairs and just he floats back up.
Yeah,
And he just has because that's how that's his main look in the comics. He's floating up, the cape's out, and he's just got that serious look as he's conjuring some magic. I'm like, that is Doctor Strange.
The only thing that was missing was him like crossing his legs and sitting at the same time. Like that's a classic Doctor Strange pose where he's just sitting down but floating and just like, I'm gonna do some magic shit. Whoa.
The way he just floated up and just the look on his face, like he wasn't phased at all. He was just like, I'm gonna fuck you up, fam. Just that was
Damn.
each time I
good.
look. As that scene happened, just chills. As he came back up, just chills.
There was a moment where when he's dying and then he comes out as like a corporeal form to Rachel McAdams. I thought she should have been freaked out a little bit more, but then I was like, you know what? She's in the Marvel universe. She's seen a portal open up in the sky. She's from New York. She's seen some strange
Yeah,
shit.
she's in
So
shit.
at first she's like, and then she's like, God, now my friend is part of this weird shit as well.
Yeah, see, I feel like
I know your last name's strange, but this is ridiculous. Waka waka, hey.
You just want everyone to say waka waka.
Yeah, everyone should be Foggy Bear. That's
No,
that's what I'm pitching.
I feel like every time we see someone underreact to something like that, we forget for a second, they've already
wait.
seen some fucked up
This
shit.
is the Marvel universe. Everyone in New York pretty much has seen some. I've seen some weird shit. That ain't nothing.
Yeah. So she's shocked for
You
a
a
second.
portal opening up in the sky with aliens pouring out? No. Then you ain't the weirdest shit I ever seen.
Yeah, and like when
You
she-
two Hulks fighting in Harlem? No. Then you ain't the weirdest shit I ever seen.
Yeah, and she sees his portal in the broom closet. Like, I would be freaking the fuck out,
She's
like
just like,
someone from our world. But she's just like, you know what? Not the first portal I've seen.
Not the first portal I've seen. The
Just
last
like-
one was blue though, so hey, I guess they come in orange and teal.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think
Color
the
graders,
more
right?
shock was, okay, my ex-boyfriend just opened a portal and walked through it.
It was more personal instead of like no, portals exist. I've seen them.
Oh, and another thing I actually really liked about their interactions is when he came back, he never had to explain.
Yeah.
He didn't have to explain. He respected her intelligence enough that she kind of got it.
It was just like weird shit happens. Look, I've been away for a while. I was into some weird shit. So
Yeah.
you joined a cult. No, I didn't join a cult. That sounds
Where are you going? Late for cult meeting.
that was pretty funny.
No, just the way that he didn't have to explain it. There's like a lot of movies would have explained it. A lot of movies would have, but it didn't need to be explained. She didn't need it explained to her.
No.
She was able to put it together enough.
What did you think of that last after credit scene with Mordo
Mordo.
going and taking that dude's magic.
I feel like that's the Mordo he was always going to become.
Mm.
And it made, as I said before, it made sense with his character development. You really felt.
I felt the
it.
twist, like him feeling really betrayed by the actions of the Ancient One, where it's like, the one thing you always told me is like, we do not dabble in like destroying the natural order. We don't fuck with Dormammu. And you've been fucking with Dormammu this entire time. Oh!
Yeah,
and then the only way to stop him is to again fuck with the natural order. So it made sense for him
I
to
feel
walk
like
away
he
and be
accepted
like,
the
"No,
fact
this
that
is-
the only way we can
you're
stop.
all fucked."
Yeah, he accepted it at the time that we have to do this to stop it. Then the more he reflected, the more he was not okay with it,
I'm
and he's
not
like,
okay.
"There's too many sorcerers." I feel like when he comes back, that's going to be his motivation. There's too many sorcerers. I need to kill all sorcerers because all we're doing is fucking with the natural order.
It's like, we're not supposed to have this power. I will take it from you. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
okay.
that makes him a relatable villain.
It does.
You understand his motivation. Like, it's wrong,
Mm.
and we need the sorcerers, but you understand his motivation. You can't blame him. The shit he's seen, the shit he's done, you cannot blame him for feeling that way.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to really work well into if we do go with this current Doctor Strange run, because the current Doctor Strange run, there's this group of people called the Empirical, and they're basically robots, and they're kind of like religious zealots, but about science, and they've been traveling through the multiverse, killing off Sorcerer Supremes and taking magic out of the world. So
you feel like he might bring those people to Earth.
I don't think that'll happen in the second film, but I feel like he might team up with them in a third film, or they might come in, because that like whole story arc I was watching, it was like, all right, there's not really anything here that you couldn't do in the MCU, because he teams up with the Scarlet Witch and like a bunch of other sorcerers that are in the Marvel universe, and you could easily like bring all of them in so that you could have this like giant magic
So
movie.
I feel like Scarlet Witch is a definitely different type of sorcerer than her.
I feel like she could still like work.
Oh yeah, she's close enough, but
Because she's bringing in like forces probably from other dimensions that she doesn't
No.
understand, and she's thinking, "Oh, I just have these weird telekinetic abilities." It's like,
I thought like the power that she had was given to her by the Infinity Stone, though. So she's still kind of drawing from the power the Infinity Stone gave her.
And the Infinity Stone is like that leads, and that's all connected to all this magic bullshit. So that's all like
True.
powers from different dimensions and like stuff from before the universe started. So it's probably like a connection to like all the different multiverses channeled through this one kind of little rock.
Okay.
So that's my idea for it.
So do you think every version of the multiverse has their 5 Infinity Stones?
I feel like they probably are, but they're all kind of connected.
Yeah, like every Infinity Stone is linked, but there's a version of every Infinity Stone in every universe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like the
makes
multiverse
sense.
that they have at the moment isn't quite like the DC multiverse or like the multiverse that they have.
Well, this is really
in the
the
Marvel
first
universe.
introduction to the
Yeah.
multiverse. This is our first introduction to there being a multiverse.
So yeah, they could do some crazy shit with this multiverse idea. Because, man, how far have we come from like? Because there are some parallels here. Not quite, because it's not quite Iron Man the way that like some other films are like just kind of Iron Man all over again. But there are some parallels that where like you watch Iron Man, it's like, all right, so this dude, he builds a fancy suit, and that's like, okay, that's this new fantastical thing. And now we're in Doctor Strange with this magic, there's multiverses, there's giant evil beings, there's dark dimensions. Like, we've come away. We've come a long way since Iron Man. Woo!
Yeah.
This is a crazy fucking
It's
world that
been a
we're living in
long
now.
ride,
Mm.
and I really don't want it to end.
No, I'm enjoying the ride so far. It's gone good. I feel like that's pretty much everything we can discuss.
We've
about
talked a lot
Doctor
about it. This has
Strange.
been like almost an hour talking
Almost
about
now
it.
talking about it. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, and we haven't got much off topic.
No.
I
not
feel
too
like
much.
it's the news episodes we get really off topic.
Mm.
We don't get as off topic in reviews.
No, we get a little bit because we're never gonna be completely on top.
Yeah, we're never. It's
But-
us we're talking about.
We do all right. So let's get into some recommendations. Brent, what do you got to recommend? What are you watching? What are you keeping up with?
Oh well, I've started playing BioShock Infinite. That's a thing I've started.
Boy, is good.
It feels good to shoot racists.
Oh yes. Oh.
And it's really frustrating in the sections where I'm not allowed to shoot them. But it's real satisfying when I can get shoot.
Have you
them.
got Elizabeth helping you yet? Or
Yeah, I've just gotten her.
she's
I
helpful,
played-
right?
Yeah, I played.
She hands you fucking ammo. She hands you fucking coins, it's great, and the railings going along those, oh,
Real fun.
real fun. I missed that game. That's a good game. Yeah,
Am I feeling a Bioshock Infinite session sometime this weekend?
maybe.
Maybe. But I got a remastered version for PS4.
Ooh.
I don't know how much better it is because I haven't played the first one, but you'll be able to tell me.
It's probably going to be better than what I've been experiencing because my HDMI port on my PS3 at the moment is broken, so I've been having to do AV.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
Well,
probably...
this isn't just HDMI, but yeah, I've also started watching a couple of episodes of Black Mirror. I told you about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You enjoying it? What did you think of the first episode?
Real fucked up.
Yeah, right?
But other than that, it's been real depressing.
Yeah. How depressing is that second episode?
Real depressing.
Feel like killing yourself? Little bit, eh?
Little bit.
I just
Real
started
depressing.
season 3. I watched the first episode. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I was hard to get through the first half of it because this was like my nightmare put into an episode of like what the future could be. It's like it felt a very like realistic version of what the future could be, which is what's so great about Black Mirror. Is that all of the technology things they do is like this could happen. This feels very kind of like close to what we're doing now. But it just once you get up to it and you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, I get why Aiden is like, this is awful. I hate this so much.
Oh,
like, it's not dystopian, but it's just terrible enough that you're like,
well, episode 2 is the
Ugh.
real dystopian
that's
thing.
a dystopian one, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this is a sad world. But there's so many decisions that, I feel like you can really only watch one episode of Black Mirror a day because there's so much in it, and you have to sit there and just bathe in your emotions after it. Just like why did I do that? What they do?
Oh, bringing it back to some Marvel bullshit. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week had a really cool origin story for Robbie Reyes.
I
Pretty
haven't
good.
seen that episode.
You haven't seen it? Do you want me to do like a little spoiler for you? It's not too much.
You can go for it. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna watch it anyway, and I'm still
All
gonna
right.
enjoy it. So if you want to talk about it, talk about
Robbie
it.
Reyes gets his powers from Johnny Blaze. Yeah.
Okay.
They don't say his name, but a guy on a motorcycle shows up. You see his flaming skull and everything, and you see like a Ghost Rider give him his powers. So
he like passes it on to him.
So yeah,
Does Johnny Blaze still have it though?
that's who knows.
Because if they,
But Johnny Blaze exists in this universe. That's what we know now.
that could mean Marvel Phase 4.
Johnny Blaze could show up, yeah, or he could show up in that Netflix stuff.
Ooh.
So you have Robbie Reyes hanging out in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then Johnny Blaze going all crazy on Netflix.
Yeah. I feel like by the end of this season that Johnny Blaze isn't going to be Ghost Rider anymore. I feel like they're going to be done with him by then. Because if there is the Johnny Blaze, they're going to want him, and he's the more well known one. Everyone who knows Ghost Rider kind of thinks Johnny Blaze first.
Yeah.
So if they want to do it in a Netflix series or
That
in the
being
movie,
said, Robbie Reyes has been great. I've been enjoying.
Oh yeah,
He has been a
I've-
welcome addition to
yeah.
Agents of
I've
S.H.I.E.L.D.
been loving him, but at the same time, I feel like he's going to go the way of Hellfire or a lot of the Inhumans. Where it's gonna get...
I don't think so. Like, I feel like he's probably not going to be around the whole season, but
Yeah.
I haven't grown tired of him yet.
Yeah. Oh no. I feel like this whole season then they're going to.
He feels like bigger than the show. Like, I feel he could very easily get his own spin-off.
Microphone.
Oh, did you
Don't be
peek?
shit. I'm just making sure the cable's not being shit again.
Okay,
It's okay.
But yeah, I feel like, especially there's a moment where he breaks out of that containment box and is like just fucking wrecking shit on the new director, and I'm just like, I'm glad that they've kind of acknowledged it. Like, as soon as the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. come up against a real threat and like an actual comic book character, that character is better than all of them.
Oh yeah, they are fucking.
I'm glad that they've acknowledged that he's
They
like,
have nothing.
he fucking just demolishes everyone in that show.
Yeah, and like the only way they overcame Hive was because of the actual superheroes on the team.
Yeah. So no, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been real good this season. I think there's like a hiatus until the end of November, which kind of sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Another one?
I don't know why they're doing this shit.
Fucking ABC, man.
But the CW doesn't seem to be doing that quite yet, so that's good.
Oh, but there's gonna be a big gap though in
There's,
CW. I
like,
know.
It's probably like mid-December to like mid-January.
Still,
gonna
I'm
be
looking
like a
forward
month
to that
break.
time as well, so I can just catch up on all these other shows.
That's what I'm gonna catch up on.
Well, in that break, I'm gonna pump through Orphan Black. And,
Orphan Black. I have to catch up on that. I'm probably gonna try and catch up on The Walking Dead during that big gap.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other things. Yeah, but I'm gonna
Orphan
use it.
Black and Orange is the New Black. That's what I'm gonna finish because I've eventually gotten to the end of season 1 of Orphan Black, but I'm feeling now, nope, I'm just gonna fucking wait
All right.
because I'm watching it in it's too fragmented the way I'm watching it because with everything else coming out and the games I'm playing, I've been too fragmented watching it. So I'm up to season 2. Once there's a break in all my shows, I'm gonna jump right into season 2 of Orphan Black.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to end this podcast. If you have some thoughts
Some
about
feelings, some prayers.
about anything that we've discussed, any of the recommendations, or Doctor Strange, let us know. You can go check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/PCMR podcast. We're also on Twitter at PCMR podcast, also over on Instagram at PCMR podcast, also for our personal Twitter accounts. I'm at Aiden's Vlog, AIDANSVLOG.
I'm at MeMan125.
Yeah, we have an email account.
Let's do that.
Yeah, PC. Stop that. Stop. Don't you ASMR our audience. You're going to just ASMR yourself because you'll have to.
I don't have to listen back to this. There's no peaks in this, so I really don't have to listen.
What if I do just a massive peek now? Then you'll have to listen to
I
this.
have to listen to your part. I won't have to listen to mine.
Please stop ASMRing. Please stop this.
I do what I want to. It's my podcast.
I'm so sorry. Look, if you want to end now, you've got our social media. You'll find all our links there. Just leave. I won't judge you.
PCMRpodcast.net is our website.
I'm just going to ignore Brett. All right, so go. You can email us at pcmrpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on YouTube. Just type in PCMR Podcast. You'll find us. We're on iTunes, PCMR. Fucking shut up. Goddamn. Swear to Christ. You leave our audience alone.
It's going to be real weird because it was literally just me repeating what you were saying.
I don't trust whisperers who cough. Get your diseased body away from me. How fucking dare you cough at me?
Oh, my microphone's fucking up.
Rude and churlish. You deserve that. You deserve your microphone to fuck up.
It's the end of the podcast. They can hear me for yours.
Yeah. Shush now. All right. So yeah, YouTube, iTunes. We're looking into maybe going on some other podcasting
We
platform.
talked about it. My microphone's stopping up, so I'm yelling into his.
All right. If you have any suggestions, hit us up. Tell us which one we should be on. If you don't tell us, we'll just keep doing the same ones that we do. So there you
I
go.
feel like we need more though. Diversify ourselves. Spread our
Yeah.
audience, whatever. That crap.
So yeah, iTunes, subscribe, give us those 5 stars. You know the drill by
You know
now.
the drill.
You know the drill. All right. We'll catch you next week with big old PAX. Probably recorded live at on one of the days at PAX. Yeah.
We'll work some shit out. Tomorrow we still haven't worked everything out, but
No.
we will.
Gotta go do some bunch of PAX preparation. We'll see you next week.